Good afternoon, everyone. I am Clyde Ryan Along of DepEd Camiguin, and I'm the most beautiful tourist spot in the province of Camiguin. And I'm excited to share with you the heart of my research proposal, which focuses on evaluating the alternative learning system or ALS program implementation here in Camiguin, titled Stakes Responsive Evaluation of the Alternative Learning System Program Implementation in Camiguin. So let's get started. Currently, ALS provides vital access to education for out-of-school children, youth, and adults. Based on RA 11510, it is designed to be a flexible and inclusive alternative to formal schooling offered through a variety of modes like face-to-face learning, self-paced modules, radio instruction, and blended learning. But while flexibility is a strength, the program faces persistent challenges. One major issue is completion rates. For example, in Camiguin during the school year 2022 to 2023, only about 53% of ALS learners completed the program. And this isn't just a one-time figure. On average, the completion rate has hovered around 30% over the years. That means many learners start but do not finish, which limits the long-term success of the program. This study is done because I wanted to evaluate ALS implementation in Camiguin using stakes responsive evaluation model. This model is designed to uncover the real experiences, concerns, and aspirations of everyone involved, whether they're learners, teachers, or community leaders. The study aims to bridge the gap between what ALS is supposed to do and what actually happens on the ground. And in doing so, it supports broader educational goals, like goal number 4 of the Philippine Normal University Framework, using research to create meaningful, transformative change. Ultimately, I hope this study can lead to better stakeholder engagement, more responsive programming, and most importantly, higher success rates for ALS learners. So, what's the research gap? Despite being around for many years, the ALS program continues to see low completion rates and limited long-term benefits for its graduates. Some even revert to their previous situations after completing the program. That tells us we're missing something. This study addresses that gap by focusing not only on what the program is doing, but also on how it's being done, for whom, and whether it works, especially when viewed from the perspectives of the people it's meant to serve. So the main goal of this research is to help improve the completion rate of ALS learners in Camiguin by providing a comprehensive evaluation report for stakeholders. More specifically, it aims to strengthen partnerships and encourage active involvement from all sectors because solutions are more effective when they come from the very people who implement and experience the program. This study is guided by 4 key questions. Number 1, what program activities are implemented in ALS Camiguin and how are they aligned with the program goals? Secondly, what are the emerging what are the emerging needs, issues, and challenges faced by stakeholders involved in various aspects of ALS basic literacy and A&E programs, including program structure, delivery methods, assessment practices, and policies. Third, how are these being addressed or not addressed by the program? Fourth, How can the process be improved to make the ALS program implementation in Camiguin more responsive to its intended stakeholders? In terms of design, so how is this research being done? To guide this research, I'm using Robert Stake's responsive evaluation model. This model is different from traditional approaches because it doesn't start with fixed goals or metrics. Instead, it listens to the people involved. It asks, what are their concerns? What do they value? And what works for them? Stake's model emphasizes real-world responsiveness. It values the perspectives of diverse stakeholders like learners, teachers, and community partners. We call them the internal and the external stakeholders. And it evolves as the evaluation progresses. It also allows space for questions and concerns to naturally emerge, which makes it more adaptive and more human-centered. In this study, I'll follow 5 key steps based on Stake's model. One is to talk and solicit claims, concerns, and issues stakeholders may want to introduce based on identified scope of program implementation. Secondly, discover and conceptualize issues and concerns and identify needed data. I mean, it's purely identifying key issues and needed data. Third is organizing findings into themes and criteria. Fourth, bringing those findings back to stakeholders for discussion and validation. And finally, compiling a report that speaks directly to what stakeholders need to know. So in terms of design, this will be a qualitative case study. That's because ALS in Camiguin is a unique context-specific program, and we need a research approach that reflects that. The case study design fits well with Stake's model, allowing a deep dive into the actual implementation, activities, and experiences of the people involved. For participants, I'll use purposive sampling to ensure that I get insights from the people most involved and affected. This includes ALS learners, both those who completed the program and those who dropped out. Second, to the ALS teachers, program leaders and implementers, our officials, no? And local stakeholders like barangay and LGU officials. To collect data, I'll use a mixing of methods in collecting qualitative data. Interviews, like semi-structured interviews for depth, focus group discussions for shared perspectives, observations of ALS classes and activities to see real-time dynamics, and document analysis to validate and support what's being shared. For analysis, I'll use thematic analysis and a phenomenological approach, focusing on lived experiences and recurring patterns. A constant comparison method will help ensure we capture every layer of understanding. So, in closing, this research isn't just about evaluating a program. It's about listening, learning, and evolving together. By centering the voices of ALS learners, teachers, and community partners, I believe we can make the ALS program in Camiguin more responsive, more effective, and ultimately more transformative. So thank you, and I welcome your thoughts and feedback.